Hey, this is Roger Martin in Billings, Montana. Good day. Boom, let's do this. This is Sieg, and she's giving a story about a person that spent tens of thousands of dollars, was serious in debt, couldn't make any money, was really just frustrated and depressed over the losses online. And this is more common than we want to think about. It happens.
Went way into debt, which is very, very common.
In the old model.
In the old model. It was a very sad story. It really led her down a very painful path.
Now that male voice was Mike Klingler. And Ann just makes her story straight that she tried this system just to kick the tires and see if it would work, and she got a sale. And this got her on fire, and she went and knocked it out of the ballpark. Yeah, she also talks about an older man. But let's go on here.
Depression, I mean, just some very serious stuff. And all she had to do was just prove to herself, does this really work? She was so desperate to know, to get some kind of a shred of hope, because this had impacted her family very seriously and
profoundly. This is a common story.
It is a very common story.
And they verify that this is common. So what happens to this gal? Here goes.
If it's a squidoo or whatever it was.
A piece of content.
A piece of content.
To the tutorial. Right.
Yep, in one
Not
day.
Not really even knowing what's going on, I'm sure. Most people are getting started.
She didn't.
Just follow along.
But she did that, and she made her first sale within one day. And she just ran with it from there because it was validation, this works.
Right.
And that was someone coming out of depression. And then just one more to reference someone.
And we won't go to the other story, the older guy that's out in the boonies, couldn't even open his email, technically challenged. A lot of people are. This had 3,600 views. This is back in 2009, 10 years ago. Let's go to Mike Klingler here. This is Mike on the right, and Sieg on the left here.
Computer.
It's technically challenged as probably you can get. Really?
Seriously, quite technically challenged.
And he admitted that. I mean,
Right, and he admitted that.
Just the way it was.
But I went to his blog, and he's in a very rural area, so this idea about hitting on friends and family, and he's in the boonies.
Yeah, he can't network in his...
There's a limitation there. And two, then he went the lead route and spent thousands of dollars on opportunity leads, had a stack of paper 14 inches high.
Right.
And I went to his blog, and it's fairly simple in nature, but it doesn't matter.
But he built a blog. He's doing this stuff.
He built a blog.
He was one of the first people, I don't know if I mentioned earlier, in that first 2 weeks. I think I did. The first few days when he generated leads following what we were doing, I knew we were onto something. Yeah.
So that's Mike. And Mike has been around the block. He's made hundreds of thousands of dollars, and Sieg has too. But what they do works with affiliate marketing. But Mike Klingler has also went into artificial intelligence with digital trading and has made millions in that as well. These guys know what they're doing. They've been around the block, and they've made money since 2009 on. They've made money for a decade. So you need to listen to them. They know what's going on. And we'll talk more about Mike and his digital investing in just a moment here. All right, we're going to show you some things here. This has got 7.2 million hits. He's talking about paychecks going into business account, going into a tax account, going into business expenses, going into a home account. 50% of the people do that. But let's go into something more important. Let's go into the top 5%. But let's also hear what happens a year later if people actually do this and incorporate. And
the balance goes here. Make sense? So tell your buddy, are you going to do this, yes or no? Yes or no? Now, here's what I know. Look up here, guys. The number of clients that have done this, and then I see them a year later and they go, I have $15,000 in my savings account. I've never had that. But more importantly, I've paid all my taxes. Like, I'm on time, and I have money inside my business account, and it's the end of the year, and my accountant said I need to take a dividend, so I'm getting a big chunk of change at the end of the year. This is awesome. Now, I don't know about you guys, but does anybody like nice things? family trips, vacations, memories, holidays, maybe a new outfit. The challenge is if you keep that psychology without requiring or putting in the discipline, you know what you end up with? A bunch of nice things and a shit ton of debt. So do me a favor. Tell your buddy, do you know someone personally that has too much debt?
Yeah.
Anybody inside this room? Now listen, there's smart debt and there's bad debt. And I'm not going to go too in depth with you on this, but you know the difference. Credit card debt at 19% is dumb debt. Buying a house and getting a mortgage with 3.5% is really good debt. So we all know the difference. And I just want you to be mindful. I want you to take care of your money. But now, did you guys get a photo of this? Did you capture it? Are you sure? Are you promising to do this? Okay, do you want to know what the wealthy agents do? This is what the wealthy agents do. It's a little more complex.
Now, he's talking about real estate agents. But here's what the wealthy real estate agents do.
It's a little more complex. I would get it up on the big screen over there, guys, and take a photo of it. But more importantly, I want you to draw the whole thing out in your notes. Draw the whole thing out in your notes. This is what the wealthy do. This is the stuff that no one taught me, saw until Bill Mitchell pulled me aside and said, what do you do with your money? And I'm like, I don't know. I just get the check and I throw it inside my account and I spend it like crazy and I never have any cash and I'm always in trouble. Draw this out. So play a game with me. You get a $10,000 check. The $10,000 check goes to what account? To what account? And 33% of it goes automatically where? To my tax account, because I don't really have 10,000. I really have 6,000 and change. That's the real deal. So 3,300 automatically here. Then I take another 3,300 over here or less, because I don't know your business expenses. But by the way, guys, your marketing cost should be no more than 10% of your expected gross revenue. Your marketing cost should be no more than 10% of your expected gross revenue. So a percentage of that 3,300 is going to go for your direct mail and your marketing and your email and your Zillow leads and your Facebook ads and the prints and the brochures and everything else. But no more than 10%. No more than 10%. Got it? Because you're incorporated now, your car and a piece of your house and all kinds of other things get written off into or from this account, so we like that. But you might also have inside there, ready guys, a virtual assistant, an assistant. Well, where is that person going to be paid from? You got a check for 10 grand. You didn't actually get 10 grand. You got 6,700. 3,300 goes inside here. Now I can pay my assistant. It starts to work like clockwork. You with me? But you can see this is where it gets interesting. Some people call this other account your investment account. I like to think of it as my financial hub. It's where the money comes in and then it gets divided again. Now, I'm not a financial planner, nor do I, even attempt to be, but I'm giving you just an example of what that extra $3,400 could go towards. So maybe you need, because you do 2 deals a month, you're like, I need $4,000 a month to come into the home expenses, so I'm going to take, $2,000 of my 3,300 or the 3,400. Where does the rest go? Do you have a retirement account? Do you put money in the stock market or in bonds or whatever you believe in, 401k? Do you have an account where you just put cash to buy real estate? Why not, on every check, take 5% of every check, put into an account called cash for real estate? And you just watch that sucker grow like crazy over time, 2 years. And also you're like, I got $185,000 in cash sitting inside that account. I should go buy a duplex. I should go buy a fourplex. I now have the money to go do these deals. Retirement account, real estate cash account.
Now, of course, I'm LDS, so I got 10% right off the top going to tithing and other things. So it's different. It's different when you're LDS. But the principle here is, do you have a part of your income that you are growing every month? Not only putting away and paying yourself in this investment account or in this money system here, that will help your money grow. That's the thing. We're going to end it here. We'll get more into detail and more into experts in this area, because if you're not taking a part of everything you earn and making it grow, you're screwing yourself over. And if you're not reducing your taxes as much as possible, you're screwing yourself over. Don't do it. Don't do it. Again, it's Roger Martin from Billings, Montana. Either you master your money and make it work for you as a growth true, or you just spend it and it's an expense. You choose which mindset you're going to live with and build on. Again, it's Roger Martin from Billings, Montana. Good day.